Hello everybody, my name is Michael with Retro Vive Repairs, and today we have a refurbishment video on a DSi XL. So this console is in pretty good shape for how old it is. However, we do have a few small issues. Number one being this charging port is very wiggly, and as you can see, it does not always charge. So taking a quick look inside, first of all, you can see we got something jammed in there, but also we are missing the little plastic part that holds the other end of this cable. So that's what's causing our wiggliness. So we'll get that fixed up. And from what my understanding, it also does not read games. Let me zoom out for you guys. It also doesn't read games to my understanding. Yeah, that's a no. Yep, that is a no on reading games as well. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there are a couple bent pins on the right side of that cartridge slot. Here, this is kind of difficult to show you guys, but there are a few bent pins inside that cartridge slot. So we're going to get that fixed up too. Nothing too major today, just a little bit of soldering work. And hopefully we'll be able to get this thing fully functional. So we'll start off by getting this thing apart using a Phillips head. Get the battery door here. The battery on the DSi XL is so cute. Actually, hold on. Let's make sure we shut the console off first. Little battery in here is adorable to me. A little gum stick battery. And I believe that is it. It should come apart fairly easy now, unless I've missed a screw here. I have not. Alright, it should come apart fairly easy now. Just by pulling on the bottom half to separate everything. And the front always wants to stick together a little more. Yep. Alright, we'll have to get a little bit more forceful here. Little plastic pick here to separate this. And that, well, it almost did it. That should do it. Open it upwards like this. Still have your SD card connector connected, as well as our trigger over here. That's the top that comes off, and now we have the main motherboard. So, in order to get this main motherboard out to start soldering, we are going to have to start disconnecting things. And now we have the motherboard out. So we can go ahead and get started on the work that we want to do, which is replacing this cartridge slot and replacing the charging port. So how I'm going to tackle this is I'm going to remove these big old anchor points first, and then we're going to go on and remove these two anchor points and then all of the data lines here. So starting off, Heating up my iron and grab some solder wick over here. So what I usually do first for these is I zoom in so that way you guys can see better. So what I usually do here is I add a bit of leaded solder to the mix. If I can get it to melt, this tip might not be the best. Yeah, I can't get it to melt. I'll need to swap the tip out first really quick. Alright, I did a brief test while everything was apart, but we do have everything back together. You can see that we have our new charging port installed, which looks significantly, focus, which looks significantly better than this other one that was barely functional. So, now that we have our charging port and cartridge slot replaced, we can go ahead and make sure it powers on, as expected. Make sure volume control works. Yep. Volume works great. And now the true test. Awesome. We do have gameplay now, so let's make sure it loads the game properly. Alright, I know that was a pretty short video, but honestly, now that it works and everything loads, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'll probably be go ahead and adding this to my personal collection because it is in very nice shape aside from this touchscreen, and we do have a little bit of yellowing on the screens, but I actually don't have one of these in my collection yet. So now that it's all restored and loading games properly and charging properly, I'm good to call it here, honestly. I think this thing looks great. So that is the end of this video. If you liked it, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have a moment. If you'd like to send in your own console for repair, head to retroviverepair.com to see what we have to offer over there. That's all I have for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.